Forged from the shipyards, carved out of the coalface, a city with fire in its belly and light in its heart, our city by the sea. For decades, our town was known as the home of hard-working hands, blackened hands that loaded deep hulls with coal, blistered hands that riveted ships that sailed around the world, maritime marvels, a testament to what we were made of.
I think back to when the river was bustling, vessels all over, people flying. Honestly, it was magnificent to watch all these boats. But now when I look at the river and see it nice and peaceful.
Another thing that always sticks in my mind is crossing the Weymouth Bridge, going to a match for football years ago. The amount of away supporters that used to be amazed at the size of ships tied up in the river. And probably never seen something so close up, you know, and I always remember that.
So was the rivalry, if you could see, with the shipyards?
No, there was no rivalry. Doctors just built the best boats. And we see people working around there. Doctors used to test the engines, didn't they? How long did they run them for? Night and day. Boom, 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 boom. You could hear it all over the town.
In Barnes Park you would hear it.
Mm-hmm.
With every ship that entered the weir, crowds would gather in tribute, waving away each man-made masterpiece. While time may have silenced our shipyards, the pride and passion of our history and heritage only grows stronger, something time cannot erode. And as the city transforms, the city remembers.
I was working down in the canteen in the shipyard, and I was 50 in my 50s when I got the job, and there was 4 of us that had the job. Anyhow, we enjoyed ourselves on the night shift, and this night when I went in, the cook said to us, "Iris, you're going to get a phone call, and you better be sitting down when the phone calls comes." So anyhow, we waited, 10 o'clock on the night come, no phone call. About 10:30, this gentleman phoned, and he said, "Mrs. Lindsay, you're a very lucky lady." He says, "You've been picked to launch a ship." And I said, "I don't think I can launch a ship." And he started laughing. He said, "You're going to launch this ship." He says, "You've been privileged." He says, "But you'll get to know all about it when Mr. Hamilton, my boss, seen us." So anyhow, when he seen us, he told us everything about it and what was going to happen. So they gave us the night off, and the next morning the photographer came and asked us would I go down the yard in my overall, side the river, and I refused. But he asked us to stand at the front door waving, so the people could think I was waving at the crowd. Anyhow, the chauffeur-driven car came, and it took us down to the yard. And as I was going down, the crowd where I work with was all waving, and I was like Queen of the Day. And when I got to where the ship was, there was a photographer from ITV, and he was asking us questions, how many family had there and everything. And then the chairman came and told us what to do, and I pressed the button and I watched the ship going down. And after that, all the photographers was round us. One wanted us to go downside the river, and I went down, and at the finish, this boss came and he said, "That's enough." I says I was freezing, so they took us in the boardroom, and I had a drink, and that warmed us up. I remember once I went down to sea lunch, and I'm more sure it was Princess Margaret that was lunching that ship, and I watched her throw the bottle. After that, the shipyards was closing down. I was 57, and we had to have our redundancy, so that was the finish of that. I tell you, it was a shame when we got redundant because we loved it. It's funny how I maybe not be able to remember anything last week, but I can remember now, in years and years ago.
In 2018, Sunderland welcomed ships to its river once again. Tall ships from around the world will descend on our former shipbuilding capital, filling the waters of the Weir with newfound life, new energy. And now a new icon will stand on the banks of the river, ready to greet them: the launch. A statement of Sunderland's pride in its past and its ambitious intent for the future, engineered from the same cold hard steel that panelled the ships, made by the hands of generations. And mirroring the pendulum swing of every champagne bottle to smash against the side of Sunderland vessels. Standing strong at the end of the keel line, a tower of steel, another man-made masterpiece. With every movement, the launch will honour days gone by and signal our progress to a confident future. A beam of light and a beacon of hope, it will swing to the beat of a city with a full head of steam. A city with fire in its belly and light in its heart. Our city by the sea.